All right, week 8. First off, I'm recording this on Friday of week 7, so happy first day of Braves playoff baseball for those of you who celebrate. All right, for everybody else, what we've got this week is, like I said, we just finished up exam 2, and then you did your protostomes lab last week. So we got those out of the way. We're going to move on to deuterostomes. We kind of covered those in lecture a little bit already, but we're going to start looking at chordates. Those are mostly things that have a backbone, like vertebrates. So if I ask you to pick out like 5 animals, just randomly, the first 5 animals that pop in your head, it's probably going to be the things that we're talking about in this unit. So like cats, dogs, elephant, anything that's got a backbone is going to be in this group. So we're going to start by watching, you've got a couple lecture videos split up into a few parts. And we're going to start on chordates, fish, and amphibians. Chordates are going to be, there's a couple invertebrates that we'll mention, and then we're going to move on to talk about different types of fish and amphibians, so like salamanders and frogs and things like that. All right? So you'll watch those lecture videos. You've got a review quiz that's due on Sunday. Now the big one, here's the good news, bad news. The good news is that this is our last dissection lab this week. So after this week, when you finish this lab, you will not have to cut into another animal unless you want to. That was weird and dark, but you don't have to do any more dissection labs in this class. So that's the good news. The bad news is that this is the longest one we have. You're going to dissect a sea star, so echinoderms, that was on your last test, but then we're going to dissect a frog and a perch, a fish. These are pretty simple dissections, but because there's 3 of them, it's going to take you a little while to go through those. All right. So here's what we need to do. Make a plan early in the week for how you're going to get this lab done. The recommended amount of time, it says, is like 5.5 hours. For a lot of students, it doesn't take that long, but I've had some who contact me and say, yes, it took every bit of 5.5 to 6 hours to do this. So what I would do is schedule a couple different days at least, or maybe even like 3 different days that you're going to go in and do this lab. So let's say like you've got Tuesday evening and Thursday, and then Saturdays are free. Go ahead and just do one of the dissections, like do the sea star on one day, do the frog the next day, do the perch the last day. And if you'll break it up into smaller pieces, I know this is a lot, but if you'll break it up into smaller pieces, it won't be so overwhelming. This is not something where, let's say you do your labs like at 8 o'clock at night on Sunday, you won't get it done before the due date if you do that. So make a plan, start early, and then break it up into several pieces if you can. All right, so the material you need, you can go through and see that, but it's going to be the same that we've done for the last couple dissection labs. So just reach out, let me know if you have any questions about any of that. We are working on our last animal unit. So exam 3 is going to be the last one on animals. Then we're going to switch over to fungi and plants. All right, so just finish strong on the animals, and then we'll get to switch to kind of like a different topic after that. All right, thanks. Let me know if you need anything.